If I were to ask you who was in charge of the U.S. Navy's 7th Fleet from the early 2000s all the way to 2017, you'd probably say, I don't know, this guy, or some guy who looks like this. But what if I told you that the real HMFIC of the U.S. Naval Fleet responsible for the entire Pacific Ocean was really a Malaysian defense contractor who resupplied American ships? That man's name was Leonard Glenn Francis, a.k.a. Fat Leonard. Sensing that this region will be vital to geopolitics in the coming decades, the U.S. Navy maintains a massive presence in the oceans that surround the Asian continent. When a U.S. naval vessel docks in an Asian port city, the bill for fuel, food, and supplies can be upwards of several $1 million. The company filling these orders stand to make untold fortunes, and competition between them gets very aggressive. A major complicating factor in this vie for supremacy is that due to the top secret operational security of the U.S. Navy, no one besides the Navy knows when American ships will pull into port next. As a defense contractor for the U.S. military, Fat Leonard often wondered if there was any possible way to get a bunch of U.S. sailors to spill the beans about top secret movements of U.S. Navy vessels. Then he remembered, oh yeah, it's the U.S. Navy, and he immediately supplied every top sailor he could meet with cash, women, drugs, and top-shelf liquor. Almost overnight, Fat Leonard's company used its ill-gotten intelligence to eradicate the competition. It became the #1 supplier of everything that kept the U.S. Navy afloat. Once he established dominance and secured his position at the top, he did what any good crook would do. Fat Leonard started raising his rates.
Price of the brick going up.
Over the next 15 years, Fat Leonard used his network of high-ranking naval brass to alert him of potential investigations. When Leonard was finally arrested in 2017, he brought down dozens of high-ranking naval officers from lieutenants to captains all the way up to admirals. Even after a dozen arrests were made based on his intel, he laughed and said the U.S. Navy hadn't even scratched the surface of his criminal network. He quipped that if they wanted to get rid of his guys on the inside, they'd have to arrest the entire Navy. To hear more about the salacious details of Fat Leonard's case, including his arrest, his probation, and eventual escape attempt and recapture, listen to episode 106 of Lie, Cheat, and Steal, the podcast about liars, frauds, thieves, and bullshitters. Subscribe today, give it a listen, but above all, don't get caught.